Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Infinite Inspirational Chats. And today I'm chatting with Anita Hanchet, and I'll let her introduce you. Although what I do know about her is that she's a nutritionist, life coach, and a clinical hypnotist. Over to you, Anita. Introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you for having me on today. It's really good to be here. So I'm Anita, and I am the Well's Mind Body Coach. So my business is all about intrinsic well-being, so nourishing the body from the inside out. And I do that by using a combination of nutrition, life coaching, and hypnotherapy. So whatever is appropriate to that person, they're the things that I will bring in to my work. What I do is just have an impact on people. So it's about transforming the lives of people from the inside out. It's strengthening their emotional, mental, and physical states.
Exciting. And what kind of brought you down this path? What led you to investigate, I suppose, in three different areas? So nutrition, the life coaching, and then the hypnotherapy.
Yeah, so I grew up as a competitive athlete, so I've always had a physicality to my personality and my life. And when I became a mum, I stopped doing all the physical things that I used to do. And I slowly but surely felt an imbalance within my body. If my mind was working really well and, going well, my physical state was somehow suffering. So I decided that I needed to get back onto doing something physical just for myself. And when I did that, I then found my mindset shifting and going out of balance. So I took on a lot of physical challenges.
Can you just describe a little bit about what you mean by a physical challenge?
So I have run various marathons, run various ultra marathons, but my big passion is climbing mountains and doing expedition style trips. So I have crossed the Sahara, I've walked across the Arctic, and I've climbed numerous high mountains around the world, which I continue to do now. So that is my thing. So my training is based upon getting myself ready to go on expeditions.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then how did you journey from that into the hypnotherapy and life coaching?
Yeah, so my training was basically, my physical training was around, eating well, sleeping well, all of those pillars of life that we follow every day. But there were just some mindset changes that I needed to make. I felt I lacked a bit of self-confidence. I felt that I wasn't quite in tune with my body. There was a lot of stuff going on. And I decided that hypnotherapy would be something that I would try. Just because it basically involved me not having to really say much. I could just lay there and let someone else do all of the talking. But I tried hypnotherapy and it really balanced my mind and my body connection. And I was sold on it. So I just thought, I need to train in this. I need to bring it into what I want to do as a business. And the life coaching just kind of was swept along with that, just because you can make a much deeper connection with people when you know how to kind of coach people. So that's where that all kind of came in.
Brilliant. So what would be the problem that you solve? Like, what's the thing that most people would come to you with?
Well, I don't have a specific problem that people come to me with. I have some people who come, everyone is very different. So my work is very, very individualized. It's all tailored to that individual. So I have people come to me for weight management, weight loss, weight gain, people who are stuck in relationships, people who don't know quite where to go with their careers, with their work, anxiety, exam stress. I mean, there's a whole lot out there that I can pull on all the different resources. So when someone presents, in front of me and they've come because they've wanted to find a nutritionist, generally what I find is that people have like mindset issues around nutrition and food. They may have been brought up that you have to clear your plate. They may comfort eat. They may binge eat. They may reward themselves with food, and all of those things. A nutritionist isn't necessarily going to be able to help them with those things, but a coach and a hypnotherapist can help with those sorts of things, because they need to learn, and they need to acknowledge what their behaviors and habits are behind that behavior. And through coaching and hypnotherapy, we can change those behaviors and those habits.
And what sort of results do you see? Like how would the client know that the issue's resolved?
So they no longer would comfort eat, binge eat, reward themselves with food. People who come, to me for fears, so fears of flying, fears of all of those things, that we have in our everyday life. A lot of people have lots of fears. Their fears have gone away. So they know that it's helped, because they no longer feel whatever it was they came with me feeling.
And is there a longevity to it? Is there like a time limit? Does it only last for a month after they finished with you, a year? Or is it lifetime changes? You're talking
It's a
lifetime
lifetime
shifts.
change. There's sustainable lifetime changes. So if they continue to do the work outside once they finish working with me, then they will be able to take those changes forwards to the rest of their lives. It's not a quick fix, the work that I do. It's over a period of time. But
What time would it be? What's your sort of time scales?
well, a minimum of 3 months, generally, people work with me for nutrition. For fears, it's generally a month. It really depends on the individual and what they are presenting with currently. I've got clients who I've been working with for 8 or 9 months currently. I've got clients that only come to me for a month. So it really, really does depend on what that client presents at the beginning.
And then what difference does working, like once they've finished, what difference does it make for them? I assume one of them would be freedom, like self-freedom.
Yeah, freedom, being able to just live their life how they want to. If freedom's one of their things that they want to come to it, that is what we work towards. But it's whatever they want, whatever their goal was, to make them be able to look, feel, perform at their very best.
Brilliant. And what sorts of things are you up to over the next year, over the next 6 months to a year?
So I'm just going to carry on doing my one-to-one clients. They're the things that I love doing. I love one-to-one work. I do that face-to-face. I will also do that online. So I've widened my reach, that it's not just the people that are local to me. I've also got a few challenges and a few things coming later on, 21-day challenges for a bit of nutrition stuff if people don't want to do the full one-to-one packages and stuff, coming online later on in the year. But I think, I haven't been in business that long, and I think year 2 is going to be about visibility, getting myself out there, getting my name out there, and just spreading my message really to the world.
Cool. And what's the so I'm sort of torn between 2 questions. So one is I kind of want to know a little bit more about you and your journey.
Okay.
Like I get the passion, because that's where you become really It looks like you've been illuminated, like you've lit yourself up like inside. That kind of yeah, just your journey. Just tell me more about that. How was it, the transition from training and then to being a mum?
Yeah, so I've trained all my life, really. I was an athlete growing up, and you know, sorry, I just got an email in there. So yeah, so I trained all my life, and I competed, in my chosen sport. But once you hit your 20s or late teens, there are other things that kind of take your focus. And and I did the normal thing when I was in my late teens, my 20s. I lived, I got a job, I had a great life. My job was great. It took me traveling, it took me working really long hours, and I loved it. And it was very sociable. And then, then I became a mum, which was amazing. And my son is amazing. And
Not that you're biased.
no, of course not. But I kind of felt I lost my identity a little bit. I lost a little bit of me. And I think that's really, really very common when you become a mum for the first time. You're sort of all encompassed into this small thing that's arrived. And you're not quite sure what to do with it or where to go with it or all of those things. And it just becomes very consuming. But once you get into a bit of a routine and they start to develop and thrive in their little lives, I felt a little bit like, but there's not really much to me. I'm a mum or I'm working. And I wanted a bit more than that. I wanted a bit more from my life rather than just those two things. So I was talking to my husband, and we were talking about mountains and having this weird conversation about stuff like that. And for Christmas that year, he presented me with a trip to climb Kilimanjaro.
Oh.
So it was the year that some celebrities had taken it on for Comic Relief, I believe the charity was. And it kind of put it into a little bit more of a reality. We'd had this conversation about me going off and climbing these mountains and doing some things for myself. But it was a huge reality check for him to actually book me on a trip. So I had to go. And it just kind of spiraled from there. I just thought, I've got to get back into training because I really want to enjoy it. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. I wanted to prove, I wanted to be a role model to my son. I just wanted to do something different. I don't know why I wanted to do something different, but I just wanted to do something for me, and it was my thing, and it is still my thing.
And what was it like?
So my first trip to Kilimanjaro, Oliver was 4. He's my son, and it was the first time I had been away from him since he was born. So yeah, it was an interesting journey to Africa. It was an interesting stay in a hotel overnight. I phoned my husband in tears saying I didn't want to do it. I wanted to come home because I was just missing everybody. But the minute I got out on that mountain, the minute we started walking and trekking, and it was just amazing. I had such a great experience. I didn't want to come back, but we came back and started planning the next trip. So it was, it was an agreement between us that I would go away once a year and do my thing. So
Oh, how amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but not many people know that about me. I don't talk about it. So this might shock a few people, but there we go.
Yeah, because from what I know of you, you're very quiet.
Yeah.
And somebody who would voluntarily want to go and climb a mountain seems to me the opposite of somebody who's like, that seems like quite an extrovert thing to do. But I guess on reflection, it possibly isn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think it suits all sorts of people. For me, and this is going to be down to my introvert personality, it's the remoteness of it all, the quiet of it all, the lack of people around me, and just like the beauty of what is around me. Like, it's just great to have that time away and be without anyone asking me anything. But it also fuels my training. So my
Yeah.
physical and mental training to get to these places and to enjoy them as much as you can enjoy these style trips, without having to worry about, will I make it because I'm not fit enough, or all of those things. So it fuels my training. So it serves two purposes for me, really.
If I had a hat on, I would be taking it off to you.
Thank you.
Gosh. And I guess all of the combination of the three go hand in hand as you're like to support you to get up to the top of the mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. You need physical strength, mental resilience, and emotional resilience as well. And those states need to be balanced. There are times that everyone who goes through these things, there are days where your mental resilience, it does get knocked. There are days when your physical resilience does get knocked, but ultimately they need to be in balance to get you to wherever it is you're going.
And I guess part of what you do with your clients is to they can self-resource to go back into balance, to harmonize again. It's not about staying in balance all the time. It's about the ability to rebalance, to be able to push yourself and then find the new balance.
Yeah, absolutely. When we're not in balance, it's about pulling all your resources to get yourself back into balance. Lots of people don't know how to do that. They find it really difficult. And a lot of the work that I do is really about self-awareness. We need to become way more aware of ourselves.
What
How
does
we're
that look like?
feeling.
What do you mean by
Well,
self-awareness?
So awareness of how we think, feel, and hear on a daily basis. Like we've all become so disconnected from ourselves. And a lot of my clients eventually realize, and they can sort of listen to themselves and read themselves a bit more, that when they are out of balance, they know the reasons why, because they have become more aware of their body and their mind.
So what does the listening look like? How would you describe it?
So just listening to, when you wake up first thing perhaps not first thing, but, after an hour of being awake, what is going on in your mind? Is it busy? Is it, are there a million things that you should be doing? Can you concentrate? Are you motivated enough? What is it that's going on? And how do you feel physically? Is your body tired? Are you lacking energy? Are you not fueling yourself properly? Is there something going on that has been there going on for years and you've just accepted that is how life is and that is how you feel? Or, is it time to do something about it? And is it time to listen to your body and your mind and change the way that you live your everyday life? And I'm not talking about huge changes here. They are generally very small changes that we can just make over a period of time, which actually have a huge impact on our everyday.
Wow, that sounds like quite a gift.
It's actually very simple. I think a lot of my clients expect to have some big, oh, she's going to do this, and sometimes they go, oh, well, isn't that just common sense? And some of it is a little bit of common sense, but I think we've all become so busy. Life is busy, that sometimes we just can't see the simple things that we need to do.
Yeah, we get caught up in like the structures, the regime.
Yeah, and I think also media and social media, or and publications, and they all have their opinion, and some of them are quite complicated, but we all think that we'll try whatever they're doing. And sometimes it's not the right way. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes it's just not the right way.
For a particular individual, I guess.
Yeah, I think we just need to think a little bit more simply.
Oh,
and
like
take
that.
things back to basics.
Oh, brilliant. Well, how would people connect with you if they're looking to find out more about you or book I don't know whether you call it a discovery call, a chat, just intro, all of the
So I have
above.
a 30 to 45-minute free discovery call, which you can book on my website. There's a form on my website which you can use, which is www.thewellsmindbodycoach.com. I'm also on Instagram, have a very small following on Instagram. I'm also the Wells Mind Body Coach there, or again on Facebook.
Cool. And I'll post the links.
Thank you.
So if anyone wants to look them up, save them trying to find it, I'll post those so that it makes it nice and easy for everybody.
Thank you.
And have you got any promotions or events or anything like that you'd like to share with everybody?
No, I don't at the moment. I am just at the moment really concentrating on getting some more offers out there a bit later on in the year, hopefully not too long. But at the moment, they're all in such their early infancy of development that they're not really worth mentioning at the moment.
Okay. And you mentioned earlier about the 21-day challenge that you're going to be running.
Yes.
So I'm guessing if people are interested in that, if you want to connect with Anita, and then you can post, please remind me when you're starting it, or
Yes, absolutely. Or the other thing to do is you can fill out a form or contact me on social media just to give me your email address, and I'll add you to my email list. And then it will all be there when we launch those things a bit later on in the year. I'm hoping to do them in sort of May time, so it's not too long.
No.
Wait for those.
Getting all ready for the summer holidays.
Exactly.
What is it? The beach body, isn't it? Is that what they call it?
Well, it's not going to be quite like that. It's I don't advocate that sort of quick fix, get your beach body ready. I'm more about nourishment.
Yeah.
So a bit of a longer kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I just thought the summer might be easier for people to do some of the things or some of the ideas that I've got, rather than the winter when, we're all a bit fed up with the winter.
Do we have to go out and wear 20 layers and
Yes. And it's so dark.
yeah. Yeah, it's just starting to get lighter now, thankfully.
No, it's lovely. We've had some really lovely days as well, bright sunny days, which are so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has. So, well, I'd like to say thank you very much. And if there is one thing, what one thing would you like the listeners to take away today?
I think the one thing would be that we all need to have much more awareness that our physical, mental, and emotional states are so interconnected that if one of them is out of balance or we've neglected it, it can have a huge impact on our everyday life.
So what would be one top tip that you could give everybody to help with the awareness of the mind, the body?
I think to start with is just check in with yourself. Check in every day. How, even twice a day or 3 times a day if you've got time, but just check in. What am I feeling in my head and what am I feeling in my body? And I think what will happen is you'll soon spot a pattern as to how you're feeling in your mind and your body, and possibly be able to spot a pattern as to what has impacted that feeling.
Brilliant. I know I took somebody gave me some similar advice, and I was noticing in the morning. There was like some mornings I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh God, just bleh,
Yeah.
don't want to get out of bed, kind of don't want to get
Yeah.
dressed, that kind of get into the day. I'd rather wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's like the morning of this first day I've got to get through first. And I realized it was linked with things that I was eating and drinking,
Yeah.
and the effect that has on my body. So as soon as I stopped, that went away, which
Yeah,
was,
absolutely.
yeah.
And food and alcohol, I'm not advocating that everyone gives up alcohol for sure, but alcohol and food have a massive impact. What you eat the night before has a massive impact on how you feel the following morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. And not only does it affect your body because you're feeling but then you're convincing yourself that it's not time for you to get up and you should be in bed and I'm not going to ready to face the world today. So it's already had an impact on your mindset.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with your mindset. It's all to do with what you physically put in your body. So that is why they're so connected.
Mm. Yeah. That's why I thought I'd share that example as an example.
Yeah, no,
People
absolutely.
get
It's a
to,
great example. Great example.
yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank
I
you.
love talking with you. I think we should do it again in a couple of months' time when you've got your 21 day, or maybe after your 21 day,
Yeah,
once you've
let's
done
do
it,
that.
do
Yeah,
some feedback on it. That would be
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to come back. It's been lovely to talk to you today.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you
And
very much.
thank you everyone for listening to the Infinite Inspirational Chats. And till next time, stay well.